Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
One game, who you taking? The correct answer is Andrei Vasilevskiy. Not even the flower. And I love the flower, but I'm not taking him. No, nor are Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights. Clearly. I'm sure you agree.
Carey Price would be up on my list, too.
I'm not sure he's healthy.
Yeah, we're not.
It's right now today. We're playing the game tonight.
We're not sure. Yeah. I'm like, trust me, I'm like racking my brain here trying to find another answer.
Funny thing is you're not taking any Leaf goalies, which is not lost on me.
No, you noticed that, hey? I need a second. You know, I really don't know.
It's not that easy.
It's not an easy question. I just don't know.
Dylan Spicer's watching in Nova Scotia says they jump on you, Rod, because they know you're right. I would take Hellebuck.
Okay.
I'm not sure there's necessarily a wrong answer to this question, but I'm still taking Andrei Vasilevskiy if I can. Rick Resenthaler chiming in on YouTube, tuning in from the break room at Canada Post. Glad to have you, Rick, and I know that you're a hockey fan. Who's your number one goalie? And don't pick an Oiler goalie.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't.
Jack Fulton in Alberta says, damn it, you're right, Roddy. About what? Which of the several topics today am I right about?
Yeah.
I want to know who the goalie is. And I'm okay. I'm okay with the Hellebuck discussion. He won the Vezina 2 years ago. Trust me, I'm good with that.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
One night in Edmonton, we were out on the town, and there was a guy by the name of Bain Norrie.
How about that?
Bain says, "Did I ever tell you guys about the night I was out with the Rolling Stones?" And I'm like, come on, what was Mick Jagger like? And he's like, well, no, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards weren't there. It was the rest of the band. And I hit the floor. You weren't with the Rolling Stones then, Bain.
Keith Richards and Mick Jagger are the Rolling Stones.
Exactly.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Good morning, Canada. Canadian sports fans around the world. Welcome to the RP Show. As we are setting sail here on what is episode number 557 of the program, we're coming to you from the Mercedes bunker.
How about
I'm referring it as that until our sales guys sell it. The Mercedes bunker. Sounds so great, doesn't it?
Sounds good. Yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah. You don't like that I'm doing that?
I don't like that you're doing
Why
that.
not? Sell it!
That's probably Jim. Well, Jim's answer would be, why would they buy it if they're getting it for free every day?
I didn't say sell it to Mercedes. Okay, cool it back there. Coming up on the program today, the first-year voice of the Montreal Alouettes, Sean Campbell's going to be with us from TSN Radio in Montreal. I believe that's the station they're still on. Sean Campbell, the voice of the Alouettes, very quietly came in as the voice of the Alouettes, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Replacing the great Rick Moffat. So we're going to talk some Alouettes football, probably a little Montreal Canadiens. The Quebecers watching will know Sean Campbell's name very well. He's been on that station for a long time. And the newest color commentator in the Canadian Football League from the Toronto Argonauts, the great Natey Adjei, will be with us. Former Edmonton Eskimo, Toronto Argonauts, and for a cup of coffee and a donut, an Alouette. I think he signed and never played a game. So he had a cup of coffee and a smoked meat sandwich. How about that in Montreal? How about that?
That's good.
So that there's some CFL talk there. But I want to, should I get into the referee talk now or save it? Yeah?
No, let's do it.
Because I don't want to get into a rut or a routine here, right? We jump on the air, I talk about who the guests are going to be, and then we jump into the quick six. And sometimes my stories come up in the quick six. But I just want to tell you a story today because I was in the gym this morning, Evolution Fitness, and I'm chatting with a referee, okay? Introduced himself. And he said, Rod, I'm the guy that texts your show. Love your show. Read your blog every day, text your show. And I'm not going to tell you what league he's in because here in the Bermuda Triangle of the NHL, the hockey capital is what we are here. There's referees in that gym from the National Hockey League to the local Pee Wee League.
Yeah.
As you know.
Yeah.
Western League, AHL, East Coast, all the referees are there.
Well, they got to do them all to make a living, right?
Right?
They're not just in an NHL market.
That's kind of what we were talking about. So, believe me, I don't want to be COVID control here. I really don't. But he did ask me to come out and watch a game that he was doing upcoming, which was kind of cute. I thought, would you come watch me ref this game? Yes, I will. He's probably watching right now. And anyways, as we were talking, he said, I wonder if our league is going to bring in a mandatory vaccination for referees and staff. And I said, well, who knows? I said, are you vaccinated? And he said, no. And I said, do you mind if I ask why? And he goes, well, I'm young, I'm healthy. If I get COVID, I'm not afraid of dying. And he's not in the 99.99%. Or he is, I guess, of the ones that will survive. He's not in the 0.001% of people that won't. And I thought, well, that's interesting. Nowhere was he saying, being stubborn, saying they're not going to put that in my body, or I don't trust. He just, I don't feel the need.
Yeah.
And I thought, isn't that something? Now, if the league brings in a mandatory vaccination, I guess I'll be lining up for a shot. But there's just one guy, that I talked to today that had that opinion. And by the way, I said, don't worry. He gave me his card. Not a referee card. It's his real job. And I said, don't worry, I won't out you on the air. And he goes, go ahead. He goes, if I blow a call, out me on the air. And I thought, that is so old school. Who says that these days?
Right.
This guy.
That's pretty good.
So anyways, I'm going to be going out to watch one of his games here upcoming, and I think that's pretty cool. So that was my story. There's just one guy, his opinion on vaccination. So let's jump into the quick six show topics, please, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, from the General in Calgary says, Rod, you need some Flames swag on your desk. We had some.
Did we? Yeah.
We got a jersey.
That's right. Little mini jersey.
You guys seen it? You seen it, Clark? Oh, it's downstairs. He uses it on his show. So, yeah. He's like, well, you guys didn't want it. So.
To be fair, okay, I was about to say, okay, that's how we roll, hey, but he did not take it off the desk. So that's fair.
Yeah, so everybody's chiming in with comments on that referee. Listen, I'm just passing it along. Didn't mean to start a holy war. It was just a conversation from this morning with a good hockey guy who came up and said nice things. So anyways, thanks for hitting that. Point one, who are you going to cheer for in the Major League Baseball playoffs? Because it's not going to be the Toronto Blue Jays. So you look at the hottest team in the majors right now is the New York Yankees. And you want it, by the way, I get where the Blue Jays stumbled. And I get why everybody was so mad all year with the errors in the field, the errors on the base paths. They're just not mature enough. And I think this is the last year that people are going to, because we all love little Vladdy. He's so cute. And Bo Bichette and the flow, they're cool. They got a pass for 2021, and that's it.
It's the last year that we can say, oh, they're just kids.
Yeah.
They're just kids, right? Next year, it's going to be time to put up or shut up, right? It's going to be go time, and Springer will be back. The pitching staff needs to get a little bit better. They're going to address that. But you're right. It's the mental errors, all those things where you're just having fun. Now you got to get serious. And now we have to win games. And not just win games. This team should be able to go out and flex on MLB.
And by guess what got me thinking about it is I looked at these teams that are ahead of them in the American League East. Tampa Bay leads the division. The Yankees are the hottest team in Major League Baseball. Boston's Boston. Who are they going to get ahead of there? So let's not forget the Blue Jays did make the playoffs in the COVID-shortened year in 2020, got swept in Tampa. I mean, their playoff highlights, it was a pamphlet. The coffee table book was a pamphlet for the Blue Jays last year, but they're not going to make the playoffs this year. So who are you going to cheer for? And for me, it'll probably be the New York Yankees. Dun, 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 dun. Now, it's not the old school Mariano Rivera Yankees. I don't know that I can name five. I like me some Aaron Judge. But they're not the Yankees that we're used to.
No.
But you got to pick a team to cheer for in the Major League Baseball playoffs. And if it's not the Blue Jays, Who's he going to be? So for me, it'll be the New York Yankees. How about you?
For me, this is bad. Well, I want to say the other team I would cheer for is Seattle, the Mariners.
Yeah,
they're not in. They're not in a playoff spot, but
they're never in, Darren.
But they've been trending up. They've been really hot. They're really close. I think they can get in. I think they've got an outside shot to get in. So if they get in, I'm going to cheer for the Seattle Mariners in the playoffs. If they don't, I'll pick somebody on day one of the playoffs.
Okie dokie. I always ask you what gift I should use on my tweet promoting the show, and I just put an Aaron Judge one on.
Oh, that's good.
And he's going, boom. So, yeah, Yankees for me. Who did you say?
Seattle.
Okay. Said no one ever. Point 2, how are you feeling about your NFL team as we approach week 1? I see from Pinks, one of our P1s, which is a priority 1 viewer. He watches every day. He says Trevor Lawrence has been named the starting quarterback for week 1 for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They still got another preseason game left, maybe 2. Is he going to live long enough to get to week 1? But boy, is there a lot of talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think it's the Urban Meyer thing and the Trevor Lawrence thing. But my team's the Dallas Cowboys. They're the laughingstock already, and we haven't played a damn game yet. Tonight is episode 3 of Hard Knocks, by the way. I know you'll be watching on HBO. No, that was last night. I missed it. I was asleep.
Yeah, but I didn't watch it either. So
can we go back and watch it?
So we're going to watch it tonight, and we'll recap it tomorrow. How's that sound?
Yeah, perfect.
It's our homework for the night is to watch episode 3 of Hard Knocks.
I thought you had me out on the lake tonight.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Doing dragon boat racing.
I do. Can you do it
we'll
after?
see it.
Squeeze it in after.
Anyways, it's funny because I saw the guys on ESPN saying, if we're not going to analyze the preseason games, why are we even playing them? And I get that. But for me, the Stars aren't playing for the Cowboys in the preseason. And we're going into Tampa in week 1. It's going to be a laugher. The Buccaneers are going to speed bag the Dallas Cowboys in week 1. So let's just forget about week 1. And look on. What do you think the Buccaneers are going to do in week 1 against the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday Night Football? I'm afraid.
I wouldn't be. I don't know. I mean, I kind of would be because last year's Bucs to start the season aren't this year's Bucs. They've had a whole year now. So they're going to come in finely tuned. And that's a dangerous football team. But I think Dallas will be able to hold their own. I do think Tampa wins week 1. But I think Dallas will be able to hold their own. It all depends. It's all hinges on Dak.
How about the Tennessee Titans, your team?
I'm feeling really good.
Is your coach, he has the Rona, hey?
Yeah, Mike Vrabel. He's got the Rona. So we're a little nervous. He's got to be back. He will be back. I think he'll be ready to go. But Julio Jones is back in and playing again. He took some time off. AJ Brown's been ruled good to go for week 1. So with AJ, Julio, and Derrick Henry, that three-headed monster, and then Ryan Tannehill, that's going to be great. But it's the defense that I think has made some strides, and I think I'm excited where they're going to go.
Jenna's watching in Southern California, and she says, let's go Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Yes. And Daryl, by the way, watching in Toronto, writes us on Twitter, and he says, being a Texans fan has been awful over the years. I may have to jump ship. Well, as bad as it's been to be a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, I just can't bring myself to jump ship. That's always been my team. And unlike Leaf fans, we have won a championship in the color television era. Moving on to point 3, and I won't spend a ton of time on this. I've written COVID/CFL, and I'm a little confused. You see all the articles coming up at 3downnation.com. I saw the commissioner interviewed on TSN Sports Center. I still love me some Randy Ambrosie because he's been great to me. I know it's not an unpopular opinion. But the debate rages on Edmonton and Saskatchewan not requiring proof of vaccination to get in. I don't know. I've been to more games in Winnipeg this year than Saskatchewan, and that could not have worked more tickety-boo than it did. More lickety-split, Moose. You show your card at the gate, photo ID, boom, the security guard knew us. Morning, Tony. What's the problem? And then I see that the Canadian, what is it travel in Canada?
Oh, man.
Transport Canada. That's what it is. Saying that come fall, you're going to have proof of vaccine to travel. Got it. So not worried. But I see these articles about the CFL. Why did it just hit yesterday that this is going to be a problem for the CFL for unvaccinated players traveling on charter flights as well as commercial.
Yeah.
Why is that just hitting the news now? Because it was August 15th that Transport Canada announced that.
I think they were holding out hope that the chartered flights would be exempt, right? If I'm on a charter, I'm not, endangering the general public and everything else. But now it's out, and we're starting to get worried about it because it's coming up quickly, right? We're getting close to the fall, so that's why it's happening now. It's kind of wild for the Canadian Football League that they're going through this now, and I get what the Riders are going through and the Elks. When you're sitting there in the front office, people have bought season tickets and they put all their money down, right? Do you got to give me my money back because now I can't go to the games? People who have bought tickets for Labor Day and all these other games, teams aren't in the habit of wanting to give you your money back. We saw that in the pandemic. They did everything they could to keep people who gave their money for season tickets to keep that money with the team. So that's a difficult decision, but you can't let that just run the entire business either. You have to do what you think is right. They're the only two teams that haven't made the call yet.
Yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. But with the travel, I'll just say I feel bad for the Canadian Football League teams because the commissioner said, he goes, I can't mandate all the players get vaccinated. I can't. Did you see his quote on that? He goes, I'd like to, I can't. And I don't understand how the Western Hockey League did, right?
Oh, yeah.
But they did. As I said in my commentary today, don't come to me for the answers because I don't have any. We've got our shots. We're traveling. Life's pretty good. But like the young referee today, who seems like a really nice guy, got his card right here. Because I'm not going to die if I get coronavirus. I don't care. I'm not getting a shot. Who am I to argue with that?
Right.
I will just say this, because I told you this in the morning coffee meeting. I examined it and said, what's best for me? And that was to get a shot. Right? Made my life a lot easier.
100%.
But that's just me. And by the way, I only have 4 topics. I got stumped on 5 and 6, so here's my 4th. What will be the biggest story in the National Hockey League this year? And we all put our heads together and came up with these options, which is actually our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. If I can get past locking myself out of my own phone. The Lightning three-peat, because people are already talking about that. Who's the last team to do it? Islanders. The Flower in Chicago, which you would think would be my top story, but it's not. The Seattle Kraken or Jack Eichel and where he ends up. And as we sit here today, the Seattle Kraken are leading with 45% on Twitter, 47% on Facebook, and that's who I voted for, the Seattle Kraken. That's the number one story, I feel, for the National Hockey League in 2021-22. How about you?
Yeah, I think that's it. Leading into the season, it's the Seattle Kraken. How are they going to play? Where are they going to finish? What are they going to look like? What's the fan base going to be? I think that is the number one story. They're all big. Jack Eichel doing his thing. I think if Marc-Andre Fleury, though, has success in Chicago and they come out of the gate hot, they will become the number one story in the league. I think they'll overshadow Seattle. I think that Chicago Blackhawks team could be the number one story in the NHL, but they're not going into the season. It's all about the Seattle Kraken. So that's where I say.
You can vote on that for 24 hours. I don't think we're calling it as early as yesterday's poll.
Yeah, no. Yesterday's poll was done early.
My cousin Christine's watching in Medicine Hat. She says kind of a selfish attitude. I don't know if she's speaking about me or she might not be. I don't know. But Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, should it be what's best for me or what's best for society at large? I don't know. I don't cast opinions on what others do. What was best for me was getting vaccinated, which ended up being what's best for society. So you can look at it however you want. I looked at it again. What's best for me? It's getting a shot. So is that selfish? It worked out for everybody.
Yeah.
I think if everybody said what's best for me, they would actually come around to realizing getting a shot's what's best for everybody, which helps everybody. Agreed?
Yeah, I think it helps everybody.
Yeah. You're running out of freedoms if you don't have a shot. And that young referee wasn't doing really anything wrong. I think Christine's saying that his attitude was selfish, but he's watching right now because he said he watches every day, and he just says, I'm not going to die if I get it. He's not going to be able to travel. He might not be able to work, but he'll realize that eventually.
Oh, yeah.
The warm-up is brought to you by Ecol Electric. Come check out our new data and lighting center in Regina. Ecol Electric, let's get to work. The new voice of the Montreal Alouettes, Sean Campbell, coming up. You're watching on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook live streaming and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445. In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody, coast to coast on Game Plus TV. You'll see we have added the Battle of Alberta entrance here. Clark, thank you. He ran downstairs and got the Flames jersey. I had to balance that out with my Oilers cup that I got at Rogers Place, and I think I paid $27.50 for that. Free refills of Diet Coke.
That?
Yeah. And by the way, I said Seattle. I voted for Seattle as the number one story in the National Hockey League this year. It's our poll question today. Wayne out in Victoria, BC says, I'd love to start over like Rod did when Gretzky was traded from Edmonton, but I feel like I'd be in trouble wearing Seattle Kraken gear around Victoria. Why don't you try it and find out? Switching teams isn't as hard as you think. It's not that hard at all. Got that one from Lana Lancaster. Long story. Okay, on the CFL vein, let's bring in Sean Campbell, the voice of the Montreal Alouettes, and the home opener comes Friday night with the Hamilton Tiger Cats in town. How you doing, Sean?
I'm very well, excited for the home opener.
Yeah, I bet. Absolutely. Nice to finally be home. Listen, what kind of fish do you have behind you in that tank, if you don't mind? It's the first thing that came to mind for me.
I don't know. I don't know what they're called. You get them at the fish store. It was my one pandemic purchase. Was a fish tank. I was bored. I was like, why not? I get a fish tank, and a couple of them have died, a couple of them have survived, and so I'm excited for it.
Somebody's behind you waving too. Who's that?
That's my sons. My boys are at home before they start school next week, so they're just excited that Daddy's home during the day.
I want to get them on the air before we hang up today. Okay, I want to see their little faces if that's cool. But listen, before we look at
they're around.
Before we look ahead to the home opener against Hamilton Friday, talk about the first two games. This, to me, surprising win in Edmonton in week 2. And then everybody thought you were going to win in Calgary in week 3, and that didn't happen. So talk about those first two games, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I don't know if it was surprising, the first win, because it was, Edmonton struggled. But for the Owls, it was all about their offense. And they were able to get the big plays. Vernon Adams Jr. wants to put the ball down the field, but their offense is one of the few in the CFL that has actually stayed together. Same offensive line for the most part. They made a couple switches from center to guard. The receivers, BJ Cunningham, Jake Winicky, they're coming back. You also had Quan Bray able to get back after his legal problems. Probably went to play in 2020, but able to play in 2021. Will Stanback comes back from the NFL. So the unit was actually pretty much the same, which all the changes in the CFL, I thought the offense was going to be fine. The defense has surprised me against Edmonton. That's what really surprised me, because there's a lot of unknowns, new guys coming from college, didn't really know much about Wes Sutton or Ahmed Thomas, and they both had big games. And Darius Pickett had a good game against Calgary. So I think that's why I wasn't surprised in game 1. Game 2, a little surprising, because early in the game, they looked like they were in control. Defense got to Jake Maier, and they weren't able to do anything. At turnovers, you thought maybe Michael O'Connor was going to come in, but then the Owls couldn't get any pressure. The Stampeders did a really good job making adjustments with their offense, and I thought the Stamps D was great. I really did. I thought that they kept good coverage. Vernon Adams Jr. couldn't find any receivers. It's something that you've seen with Vernon Adams Jr. in the past. Struggles with the completion percentage. We'll see how this translates to this week. But the good and the bad, you're right, in those first 2 weeks. And I'm not sure which version of the Owls we're going to get this Friday.
I want to hear from the Alouettes fans, by the way. Andrew Stute watching says, hey, Sean, happy Wednesday to a fellow Montrealer. Tell my friend Mitch Galloway, say hi, LOL. If you don't mind, before we look ahead to Friday's match, because I think it's going to be monumental, Ticats, Owls, I do. Can you tell our viewers about yourself, Sean? This is your first season in the broadcast booth for the Alouettes. Introduce yourself, please, to our CFL fan audience.
Yeah, I've been working at TSN 690 since 2007. The first year I started covering the Alouettes right away. So part of those Grey Cup years, I was more of a reporter. I host since 2008 the show The Owls This Week on our show. Got to know a lot of the players throughout the years and covering this league. I love the CFL. I love football in general. Any football, you name it, I want to sit back and watch. I love the strategy part of it. But I've been covering the CFL for a good part since 2007. A couple Grey Cups. The Grey Cup in Calgary, was down on the field, not actually on the field like the 13th man, but I was down on the field as that happened, and I saw the flag go up. I was like, oh, too many men on the field, and that's exactly what happened. And got my opportunity in play-by-play, filling in for our play-by-play guy a couple years ago. They went through some changes, and this year they gave me the opportunity to do it full-time. Really looking forward to it. I got my partner, Marc-Olivier Brouillette, former Rough Rider and former Alouette. We have a good time together in the booth. But yeah, I've been covering the league for a while, and I'm just really excited to be in the booth with the microphone and watching the Owls game by game throughout the season.
You and I met for the first time in that broadcast booth at McGill Stadium. Am I right?
Yeah, I think it was, I'm trying to think how many years ago, because I did a lot of work behind the scenes for CFL on TSN. doing, the bug work, the secondary stats. And I don't know how many games I've missed over the last 13, and I can count them on one hand. I'm usually always there at Percival Molson Stadium. So I couldn't tell you what year it was, Rod, but yeah, I was there. I guarantee you.
Well, I remember the meeting, but also would you please say hello to my good friend Marco Brulette, your color guy. He used to sit right behind me on the Rough Riders plane, and this won't surprise you, but we always would say chicken or beef, chicken or beef. That was the meal. And, of course, he's a vegan, so he would say, enjoy your animal carcasses, you savages. And he would have the only vegetarian meal on the plane. Oh, yeah, exactly. Marco, he's a real beauty. So,
he's so great.
Oh, yeah. He's tremendous color guy, by the way, which you obviously know. But to the Alouettes and the Ticats on Friday night, this is a delicious Friday night football matchup because the pressure is mounting on the Ticats. Al's home opener. What are you looking for in this game?
I'm looking for the Owls to make a splash. I think that they really want to entertain their fans. It's a message that they've put out with new ownership, with General Manager Danny Machocha coming in, and also with their head coach Kahari Jones. They've sent this message that they don't want to be a humdrum CFL team. They want to challenge. They want to entertain. They want to put butts in the seats. And Vernon Adams Jr. is the perfect quarterback for that. So I expect them to challenge the Ticats defense down the field. Now, I'm curious what the Ticats are going to do offensively. The first 2 weeks have not looked great for them at all, trying to figure out who even their quarterback's going to be heading into the game. And every series, it could be someone different. And both quarterbacks that they have are very effective, but it hasn't happened for them just yet. So I expect the Ticats to kind of get all their kinks out that they did in the first couple weeks for them. And I want to know how the Owls defense is going to respond. They didn't respond well late in the game against Calgary. They need to bounce back, see if they could stay disciplined and keep their emotions in check. But I think the big challenge here is going to be the Owls defense versus their offense. I expect the Owls to put up points. If they can get, you could see in this early CFL, if they can get to 25, that might be enough to win a CFL game right now. But I'm still waiting for that Ticats offense to click. I'm still waiting for that Ticats offense to really hit their stride. So it might be more than 25. I think this might be the first barn burner we're going to have in the CFL this Friday.
Well, that's funny you say that. We haven't not had one yet, and it's week 4.
I know.
Yeah, not good. The Montreal people are alive. Tim Capper watching on Facebook says Owls need to use stand back more out of the backfield, especially screens, plus VA needs to stop throwing into double, triple coverage. George Carter says, I think the Owls bounce back if they pass the test versus the Ticats. They're for real. Murray Fisher and Brandon says, VA sure looks like he's struggling with the deep ball. Is there something to that? We're talking about Vernon Adams Jr. for those that don't know. I don't know. Jake Weineke hauled in a pretty nice deep pass in week 2. What's up with VA's play? What are they saying out there about it?
Yeah, just a little inconsistent. I thought early in the game against Calgary, he was missing the mark. He was just missing his throws. Then he was able to find it. His deep ball's okay. It's not the best deep ball, but he doesn't care. He'll throw it up there. And what he wants to do is use Jake Weineke and Eugene Lewis. These are big bodies, and he'll put it up in the air, and they'll make the play. Already, week 1 for the Owls or week 2 in the CFL, play of the week, Jake Weineke. You could go to Eugene Lewis, play of the week. He almost had second play of the week. He was just half a yard short for the touchdown at the end of the game. He's going to really let his receivers make the play. And he's going to try and use Quan Bray's speed. He's got to overthrow him and let him come under the ball. And then BJ Cunningham is the possession receiver that I think that he didn't use enough in week 2 or week 3. Sorry, it's with the Owls having the bye week in week 1. It's been a mess.
I know.
But in the Owls' second game, I didn't think they used BJ Cunningham enough. I think they need to use him more. But those deep balls, as mentioned there, yeah, he misses the mark a little bit, but as long as he puts it high enough, I think Eugene Lewis and Jake Weineke can come down with those balls. So it's something that you'll see against Hamilton for sure. They're going to go down. They're going to use Eugene Lewis and Jake Weineke down the field.
There's no doubt VA is going to be just fine. Sean, you can't live in Montreal without covering the Canadians closely. I want your take on, has the city come down from the Stanley Cup Finals appearance, A, and B, are they going to be a playoff team this upcoming season, do you think, in that tough Atlantic division?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. And I do the post-game shows for the Habs, so I know that fever, and I felt it through the fans, game in and game out all the way until July. And it has calmed down. It definitely has calmed down in the city. And I think the push kind of was when they got the news about Shea Weber not coming back this year. And I think that really hurt them a little bit, just that momentum that they felt that they were gaining. But there's still a lot of young talent that they're expecting to take another step. And Nick Suzuki is something special. I think everybody saw that. You're going to have a rookie season coming up for Cole Caulfield. What can he do in his rookie season? Is it 25 goals? Is it 30? Is it 40? You don't know because he's so young. But playoff team, I'm going to say yes. I still think that they have a lot of pieces, and even the ones that they're missing, they are replaceable. But the biggest question mark is going to be down the middle. Without Philip Deneau, it's a huge question mark. Can Nick Suzuki and Barry Kotkaniemi and Jake Evans and maybe Cedric Paquette fill that void? Who's going to take all those defensive zone faceoffs? That is their biggest question mark. It is a tougher division. Tampa Bay, Florida, Boston, Toronto, but I think they could squeeze in into the top four in their division. And then once they're in the playoffs, you can already see that the Canadians are going to be someone to mess with because your goalie's Carey Price.
Yes, training camp's right around the corner. Sean, great to chat with you again. Have a great call on Friday night, and let's do it again here throughout the fall.
Anytime, guys. Have a great show.
The radio voice of the Montreal Alouettes, Sean Campbell from TSN 690. Also the home of our good friend, Chris Knuckles Nyland, who's got the summer off. Have you noticed Knuckles?
Yeah.
He's hanging out with his granddaughter.
Living it up. Well, I saw him at the golf course. I don't know how long ago that was. Guy Carbonneau and
Bob Gainey. The line was back together.
The line was back together.
They look great, don't they?
Oh, my gosh. We can't wait that long before we go see him again.
Hey, Quebec, can we make a little noise here? You see Eve Ross writes in, watching on YouTube, says, I am from Quebec, but last year was a dream and a good one. But I doubt we will make the playoffs again this year. Now, Habs, prove me wrong. And then we got Spider Dan on YouTube who says, they're making the playoffs. Come on. Please, Habs, make it. But Sean just said, in that division, it's going to be very, very tough.
Oh, I know.
Coming up in hour two, by the way, Natey Adjei of the Toronto Argonauts broadcast crew. But we're going to flip back and forth. We got to talk some baseball today. The question is, who are you going to be cheering for in the Major League Baseball playoffs if it's not the Toronto Blue Jays? Because it's not going to be. I've said the Yankees. Moose says the Seattle Mariners. Who's your team going to be? I hate that that's where we are. You're going to have your regular season team, which is your favorite team, and then a playoff team.
I know.
And that's kind of been me as a Cowboys fan for years, so I get it. But the Yankees have always been my default. Addiction, it destroys relationships, families, and lives. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of beautiful Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center, recovery for life. Go to aurorarecoverycenter.com. We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook live streaming, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
At Capital GMC, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital GMC, we'll buy it.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. Where do I go from here? I want to say thank you to Joel Newman, who watches every day in London, Ontario, on the Game Plus TV network, and he sent me some artwork, Moose.
Sweet.
And, yeah. He's obviously watches the show.
Can you read that? The Regina Pats, God's team.
God's team.
That's awesome.
It's catching on.
Yes.
And this one, somehow he heard that I was an Oilers fan in a past life. Mark Messier, number 11. Other Moose.
That's pretty good. The other Moose.
Yeah, mess. Bless this mess.
How about that?
So thank you, Joel Newman in London, Ontario. What are you laughing at over there?
Nothing.
You thought something.
Yes. Move on.
Okay. Dylan Cease pitched 7 effective innings. Jose Abreu hit a 3-run homer. And the Chicago White Sox stopped a 3-game slide by topping the Blue Jays 5-2 at Rogers Center. The Jays are done. I'm asking, who are you cheering for in the Major League Baseball playoffs? And who is it? Kevin Olenek, watching on YouTube, says, hard not to cheer for the Rays. 1 win and 1 bad pitching decision away from winning last year. But it was a pretty big gaffe. Remember? Mm-hmm. Taking out your starting pitcher because the analytics said so? For that reason, I feel like Shark Tank. For that reason, I'm out.
I'm out. And just, I looked it up. The Mariners are 3 games out.
Yeah, you're done. What are you talking about?
There's only 3 games out.
You say that like you think that they're going to actually make the playoffs.
Why do I do that? Why do I resist picking somebody at the top?
Because you're a contrarian?
Yeah, okay.
Wandy Peralta retired Freddie Freeman with the bases loaded for the final out, and the New York Yankees held off the Atlanta Braves 5-4 in a thriller to extend their longest winning streak in 36 years to 11 games. DJ LeMahieu's two-run homer in the fifth inning gave New York the lead. The Yankees remain 4 games behind first-place Tampa in the AL East. The 11-game win streak is New York's longest since 1985. At the other end of the scale, how about the Baltimore Orioles? How bad are these guys? 19 in a row they've lost. They allowed 19 hits and fell behind the Angels by 11 runs in a 14-8 rout. Yeah, what do you got?
They're a smooth 32.5 games back of the wild card.
That game last night was the first game in 3 weeks that somebody not named Ohtani got the win on the mound for the Angels. Not like the Angels are any great shakes, as my mom would say. The LPGA says the Buick LPGA Shanghai tournament scheduled for mid-October has been canceled due to ongoing COVID-19 travel restrictions. There are 2 tournaments still scheduled for the following weeks in Asia. The BMW Ladies Championship in South Korea and the Toto Japan Classic in Atsu, Japan. And receivers Cole Beasley and Gabriel Davis are among 4 Buffalo Bills players who must spend at least 5 days away from the team facility after having close contact with a trainer who tested positive. All 4 players are expected to miss the Bills' final preseason game on Saturday when Buffalo hosts the Green Bay Packers. This sports update for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store. For Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. And for Ballers Rec Room, which frankly, Moose, we haven't been down there in far too long.
Far too long.
You know, we're not going for the tailgate party, but we can certainly go for lunch.
Yeah.
I very confidently say it's the best taco salad in the province, if not Western Canada.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Just asking who you're cheering for in the playoffs in Major League Baseball. Who knew this would be a topic, Moose? A popular one. Ryan on YouTube says, Rod, I'm switching leagues and going for the Brewers if the Jays are out.
Ooh.
I'm still not moving off the Yankees, but the Brewers that's a very tantalizing suggestion.
Another one I thought was Mo Egger's Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, why not?
They're looking pretty good, too. They're in a spot. Yeah, that's a good one. Milwaukee's a good one, for sure.
I can't with this. Swanee from Martinsville writes he's watching on Game Plus TV from the 471. Hey, guys, do you think the young Blue Jays team's latest slump is from the long season, which a lot of the players haven't got a taste of yet? Can you imagine? Oh, we're tired. Really? Really? These young men are in their early 20s. They can't play 162 games. They can't keep the pedal to the metal when everybody else is. I think the Yankees are a lot older than the Blue Jays. They should be the ones that are tired.
Right. No excuse.
Come on. Is that where we're at in life now?
Don't make excuses. There's just no need. But this is the last year. We talked about this earlier. This is the last year.
This is the last season. It'll be announced tomorrow.
That you get a pass for being
young. Yeah, this is it.
They're just kids, right? You know, when you're drawing on the walls and doing all that crazy stuff and breaking your arms, jumping on trees. You can say they're just kids. At some point, when you're 25, you can't say he's just a kid.
No.
You got to grow up. And they're going to have to grow up next season.
Right. Jen's watching at the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the UFC and Seattle Kraken Fan Club. And Jen says, you're paid to play 162 games. It's your job. I just feel like Kevin Biggio slamming his glove down. I'm tired.
I know.
I almost didn't want to read that. Don Smith, watching on YouTube, says, I used to consider you a partial shill for the Greenies, but you've won me over. The RP show is now the best sports show in the land. A balanced perspective versus the myopic drivel out of Toronto. Well done. I wasn't a partial shill for the Green football team.
No.
I was entirely a shill for the Green football team. And what did that get me?
You don't do anything, yeah.
Spicy.
Right.
You're not doing anything halfway.
All in or all out.
Yeah.
By the way, you see the comment from Pinks?
Yeah.
He says, congrats to the new play-by-play voice of God's team, Natey Adjei. Looking forward to Regina Pat's preseason in a couple weeks. Regina Pat's naming their new radio voice today, and his name is Natey Adjei. He comes here via, how would you say that? From BC via Ontario.
Yeah.
Or the other way around. So, yeah. We'll be back. We'll be back with more viewer takeover right after this. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network. Paint's coming off this thing already. YouTube and Facebook Live and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445. In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, and we lost the moose again. I just heard him from the lobby. Oh, no. Where'd you go in this time? Fill up your coffee? Let's shame him. Show it, please. Yeah, no. Get in here. You're putting water in your coffee cup? Savage.
It's a paper cup. I want to reuse it.
Oh.
And not just litter it.
How green of you.
I'm just trying to do my part.
Brady writing us on the Prairie Mobile text line, and he says, hey, Rod, on this day back in 1977, Tim Horton was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. I knew there was a reason that I went to Tim's this morning. And you people should know that I drink coffee to the degree that I shotgun this, and then I switch to Caliber coffee afterwards. What will be the flavor of the day today?
The Lakeside blend we're on.
Ooh.
Yeah. The Lakeside blend from Caliber, which I love.
Sounds amazing.
They're really good.
From Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, I'm too tired to listen to the rest of the show today. Good. Goodbye. Sweet dreams. Happy trails. Regarding this painting that I got. I love it. Oh, by the way, it says on the back, it's autographed. I just saw this. To Rod, thanks a lot for the inspiration. How about that?
How about that?
Go Pats. Signed News. That's his nickname. News. We're tight. Anyways, Don Smith writes in and says, God's team. Did the Wheat Kings move to Regina? See, I just loved it. It's needle people, right?
Wow.
And the people that get it, like him, make the world all the more fun.
Well,
unlike those that jump on the hood of my car or kick in the windows. Yes?
But you're messing with people's minds when you wear the Wheat Kings gear all over town, too.
He didn't see that, obviously.
And post it on your social, which, by the way, is just outstanding gear.
The Wheat Kings gave me a jacket that, frankly, I don't want to take off.
Yeah.
If loving that jacket's wrong, I don't want to be right. This hockey gear is really good. CCM stuff from the Dub, Under Armour with the Pats, Sherwood with the SJ, which I'm going to bust that stuff out because people are telling me that summer's over. Hockey stuff doesn't really go well with summer and heat, unless you're wearing workout gear in the summer.
Yeah.
People just, you gotta tune in at the start, okay? Because you're gonna be lost. Coffee starts at 12 Eastern. You see this guy writing in and saying, what's the Mercedes bunk all about? It's the Mercedes bunker. I'm going to call it that until our sales guys get off their ass and sell it to somebody. Besides Mercedes. And you don't want me doing that.
Wow. It's probably I'm probably speaking for Jim more than I'm speaking for myself. I'd love it to be called the Mercedes bunker or the whatever bunker.
From the general in Calgary watching, he says, you'd like the Hitman too, Rod. They'd gift you a bunch of stuff. Well, I'm easy to find, and I don't think they like me very much because I found the term Hitman offensive. I mean, everybody's offended about something, right? So I'm going to be offended about the Hitman. It glorifies organized crime. And do you really want to dig into what Hitmen are all about? Illegal substances, prostitution. I'm anti-Hitman, so I probably wouldn't wear their stuff. And I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't send it to me either. Coming up next hour, Moose, here's one from The Athletic. Was it The Athletic? Is it possible to build a six-man starting lineup for NHL players whose names all rhyme? You got to think about it. Yari Curry, Fleury.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
One night in Edmonton, we were out on the town, and there was a guy by the name of Bain Norrie.
How about that?
Bain says, "Did I ever tell you guys about the night I was out with the Rolling Stones?" And I'm like, "Come on, what was Mick Jagger like?" And he's like, "Well, no, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards weren't there. It was the rest of the band." And I hit the floor. "You weren't with the Rolling Stones then, Bain."
Keith Richards and Mick Jagger are the Rolling Stones.
Exactly.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome to hour 2, y'all.
You want me to get out of my phone?
I don't care
Show's
what you
on.
do. It's fine.
I know.
It's the second half kicker. You do you. You're good.
Yeah. See?
Try not to stick my nose into other people's business. I'm sure you're doing something important over there.
Oh, yeah. Always.
The second half kickoff as we roll into hour 2 is brought to you by Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm. And just out of the blue, near the end of hour 1, I dropped this thing from The Athletic. Notification that popped up on my phone. This was always what I called fake news, which as it turned out I was wrong. Fake news, I thought, was what I was the king of in my old job, just stirring up things to talk about when they're on a slow day. Right. I thought that was fake news. And then I learned from Donald Trump that no, it's misleading news. So this isn't fake news. I don't know what you would call it, Darren, but from The Athletic, is it possible to build a 6-man starting lineup of NHL players whose names all rhyme? And so you wouldn't believe the conversation we've had around here in the last 4 minutes in the last break, because my mind immediately went to Vasilevsky.
Yeah.
Done. Over. Game over. But Clark came out of his cage, and what did you say, Clark? You said, who did you say? The Flurries, Murrays, Currys. And then you said current players or past players. And I initially thought current players. We could fill a whole team of Flurries. All from here.
Oh, yeah.
Flurries and Murrays.
Flurries
all
and
from
Murrays
here.
And Currys, yeah.
Are we going to play this game all morning? Because
Johnsons and
I'm okay
Johnsons.
for it. Hey?
There's enough Johnsons and Johnsons.
Right. Hey. James Henderson's watching on YouTube, and he says, Rod needs some Manitoba Moose gear. That brand brought the NHL back to Winnipeg, and it's a great jersey. I would say, can somebody run and get it? But we're getting off topic here. We have a Moose jersey up in the Legends Hall, which is the very vaunted entrance to the RP Show World headquarters here on the top floor of the DuPont Media Building. Rob Hunt, watching on Facebook, says, was there a Sutter that played net? Nope, they're too smart. But we could have stuck one in goal.
Oh, yeah.
What did Daryl Sutter say? Because there's 7 Sutter brothers, right? And Gary's the oldest that didn't play in the NHL. But as Daryl said, with 7 brothers, we find some sucker on the street in Viking, and we could have a 4-on-4 any day of the week. How great would that be? Because it was just you and your brother and your sister, right?
Yeah, and so you want to, like, me and Brett tried playing one-on-one football, right? How do you do that?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you can't. You know, you always need somebody else or a couple more people. Even 2-on-2 sucks. And hockey, one-on-one's okay, but it gets old. 4-on-4, yeah. That would have been the greatest ever.
I'm sorry. I wish that I could get to everybody that's saying hello. I see Jeff Kozak, big Habs fan, writing. He says, I'm home. Oh, he's watching coming home from Calgary. People think that the bunker should be sponsored by Pizza Pops. And while I like that, Pizza Pop doesn't pay my bills. Right? We could have something else sponsored by Pizza Pops. There you go. And as we've learned, they're a Winnipeg treat, and they love us. Let's get back on point. Although the stuff that's out there in sports right now is very negative. The Hooters bunker. Now we're talking. Can we make that?
You have piqued our interest.
Hey, tell me more. The other breaking news today, if it is that, Jacksonville Jaguars have named Trevor Lawrence their starting quarterback for their Week 1 game. But again, they're not even done the preseason yet, so I'd just be happy if he survives the preseason after what I saw on Monday Night Football. Pressured on 41.7% of his dropbacks. And live to tell about it. From C. Walker, watching on YouTube, says, my rhyming all Chuck team. I like this. Dave Andrechuk, Dale Howardchuk, Steve Konowalchuk. That's up front. On the back end, Johnny Boychuk and Igor Kravchuk with Clint Malarchuk between the pipes. Come on! We got a winner! We got a winner.
Yes. That's pretty good.
I mean, do those rhyme?
Chuck.
Yeah, they don't rhyme.
But they got Chuck. I guess it was all Chucks. They kind of, if you really, the way you read it, they rhymed because you really emphasized the Chucks. The one I was thinking of in that spot was there's probably Hansons, Jansons, and Mansons.
Yeah.
Dave and Josh Manson.
The Hansons.
The Hansons, Cam Jansen.
No, the cop outside the door. The Hansons. Right?
Yes.
This is a Chiefs key ring. You can't buy these in stores. By the way, the Prairie Mobile text line is open, 306-840-8777. That is 840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer and headquartered in Winnipeg. I feel like it's hump day, right? We're all out of order.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're between weekends, which is when the action happens. We don't have NHL going on every night. I'm telling you, Saturdays aren't the same without Hockey Night in Canada. What year did you think that they went to a doubleheader on Hockey Night in Canada?
Oh, man.
We were looking it up on the weekend.
20 questions. Okay, so the first one is, was it in the 90s?
Yes.
Okay. It's my first thought. I thought it was in the 90s.
My friend that's watching...
like 95?
I believe it's 1995. We were looking it up on the weekend. It might be 1997.
Yeah.
But it was definitely 90s.
Wow.
Oh, Jeff Cabillas is watching in Winnipeg, and he says, how about a Russian lineup with Ovs? This is kind of fun. There's a funny story there, by the way. And again, I just feel like we're all out of order. There's no real exciting breaking news today, and I don't want to talk about COVID. You don't want to hear it, and I don't want to talk about it. So, yeah, it's the joke. Larionov, Fedorov, Fetisov.
The Red Wings had that in the mid-90s.
Right.
They had it.
Krutov. So, Curtis Hunt, who is the general manager of the Prince Albert Raiders, and he is the older brother that I didn't need because I already have two. Former Leafs, he was a Leafs draftee and stuff. He was in camp with the Vancouver Canucks, and he always tells this story that he thought there was a player on the other team that his coach was yelling, get Hunt off, get Hunt off, get Hunt off. Coach was saying, get Hunt off. Where's your drum roll on that one?
Spicy.
That too. Get Hunt off.
He thought it was some Russian
He thought it was a Russian named Huntov. No, we're talking about you. Get off. Or that great joke, I was a stay-at-home defenseman. They wanted me to stay at home.
That's pretty good.
There was a guy here, I think his name, I can't remember his name, on YouTube. He's like, Rod never reads my negative comments on the air. Yeah, who? Yeah, Ryan Friesen. Well, no kidding. So why would I? I hate the people that write into our website and go, you probably won't publish this. But da-da-da-da. No, I'm not going to. So why would you be a stupid ass and write that? Daring me doesn't work. Not anymore. It used to. From Ryan on YouTube, Rod, where are the Patriots going with Newton versus Jones? Is this a coin flip? I'm enjoying watching the wide open competition. The Patriots don't play till Sunday, I think. I think they have the Jags. I was looking this up earlier today. They literally don't know who their quarterback's going to be, but Cam Newton is making it easy for them, Moose, because he's banished for 5 days.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. It's the Cowboys and the Jaguars on Sunday. My team. Who the Pats got? Those quarterbacks are both dead even when they play, which I guess is a good problem to have. Who would you start? I would start Cam.
Yeah, I would.
I wouldn't start Mac Jones any earlier than I had to. They're at the Giants on Sunday.
There's a narrative that Mac Jones has the edge because Cam Newton can't practice because of the mix-up that he had with the COVID protocols and the testing. And so he was off for 5 days, And the best way to, availability, right, is kind of Belichick's thing. You got to be available.
Yep.
And right now, Cam's not available. But he's done enough in these early games in the preseason, especially when they've been kind of going head-to-head, to be the guy. And I remember early last year, Cam Newton actually looked pretty good early in the season. And the Patriots actually moved the ball pretty well. And there were some good early season games that the Patriots were very entertaining. And then Cam got a little nicked up too. He was running. He was moving pretty well. And then the season kind of went off the rails. Mac Jones has shown that he can come in and play, but unless he's going to come in and light the world on fire, there's no need to put the rookie in that spot. I'd let Cam Newton start. He'd be my day one starter. No questions asked. And I think the Patriots will be okay with Cam Newton as their starter.
We interrupt this message to tell you that it's 11:11. Make a wish. You saw I was going to say something, right? But then I let you finish.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I didn't run out the minute, so.
No, you didn't. Listen, Robin, he's watching in the gateway to the north. He said, Rod, if the Pats are God's team, then the Raiders are God's favorite team. Listen, stop it. Everybody got so upset when I labeled the Saskatchewan Roughriders Canada's team. Remember, everybody else got mad. Don't get mad at me because I came up with it first, okay? The Regina Pats are the oldest junior hockey team on the planet and therefore God's favorite. He invented them clearly, and then everybody else followed. Come on. It's that hard to figure out. There's another COVID war raging on Twitter here. I'm just trying to find it. I'm just going to... Where the heck is it? He's going after me in a rash. Here it is. Being vaxxed or not doesn't change. Spread it, get it, and have bad outcomes. Pushing your individual beliefs on people is what communists do. All about control. And yes, I am vaxxed and have no issue going where unvaxxed people are. It's about choice. Stay safe. This is how we ended up in this quagmire that we're in as a society right now. It's absolutely about choice. But the fact that so many people are not getting vaccinated is causing a lot of problems, i.e., for sports. And let's just say the Canadian Football League. We're having all these required proof of vaccination starting in the fall for travel so that you can travel because the people that aren't vaccinated that are making their choice. It's just causing a lot of problems for everybody else. So I think I have said a couple times over the last couple weeks, go just get your needle, make things easier, but I probably shouldn't have. What I am trying to do is if it is influencing, it is getting, saying that I got my shot, you got yours, and we're allowed to work, we're allowed to travel. I don't get the problem. But as I started saying it this morning, the referee in the gym that gave me his card, young, fit guy, smart kid. And he goes, I'm not getting a vaccination because I'm young and healthy and I don't think I'm going to die if I get coronavirus. Who am I to argue with that? However, if the league that this kid wants to work in ends up having proof of vaccination to work, he ain't working.
That's it.
So you made your choice and you're not going to get to work. That's a choice that he's making. Why are we in a year and 6 months into this and people we're still arguing about this?
I know.
It's sad.
The things in which you cannot control.
Yeah.
Right? And we don't have that ability. I mean, if these are going to be the rules, these are the rules. You got to make decisions. And you got to weigh risks and you got to weigh pros and cons and make decisions that are going to be the best for you and the people that you love and the people around you.
Somebody wrote in earlier because I was using Slapshot lines and they said, do you think the movie Slapshot would be made today? Why not? You go to any movie, rated R, and there's language like that. I don't see why they wouldn't make a movie like that today. No? I went to Disney with you, Disney's Jungle Cruise, and The Rock was making all kinds of outrageously offensive comments in a kid's movie. I think Slapshot would be made today. Maybe that would be a great poll question. Were you going to say something?
The only reason I think it wouldn't be made today is because that type of hockey and that type of the young audience couldn't relate to it because they'd be like, what is this? Hockey was like this? Right? When Slapshot came out, most of the audience still remembered those days. Right? That's the only reason. Not about would it get canceled because it's too offensive. I think it's more about relatability. The game has changed so much. That's why it's a treasure for guys like you and me.
Sometimes I wonder how much it's changed. To outward appearances, it has changed a lot.
Has it
changed that much?
Yeah.
James in Manitoba. Seems like I read his comments a lot. I think James and I would get along real well. He says, no vaccinations, no CFL. Easy choice for me. Jen from the Four Seasons. If it wasn't for all the people that got their vaccinations, this province would still be in lockdown. So you're welcome. Ooh. Robin in Prince Albert says, if you remake Slapshot today, who plays Reggie Dunlop? 2 Mrs. Reggie Dunlop from Reggie Dunlop. Collect. I like it. Clark just said Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh.
Because I was going to say Vince Vaughn.
That's what I was going to say. Kind of a similar face. A little bit. They look a little bit of the...
Who plays Ned Braden? Oh, I got to think about this. We have a theme for the rest of the show.
Recasting Slapshot.
Jim Carr. Woo. Where can I cast myself in this? Which one can I be? Because I want to be one of them. Joe McGrath. We'll be right back. I think I'd like to be Walt the bus driver, actually. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network. Natey Adjei coming up. We're also live streaming on YouTube and Facebook and 24-hour sports radio. For Suds Full Service Car Wash, your car deserves it at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445. Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. We're having a tremendous time on this Wednesday, August the 25th, here on Canada's daytime sports talk show. And just ahead of Natey Adjei, Toronto Argonauts alum and now radio color guy. Just 1 second, Natey. We got a few things here. The topic came up, if you missed, what current actors would star in a remake of the movie Slapshot? And Clark's dad's watching, and I appreciate it, Rod Monroe. He says Rod Pedersen as Reggie Dunlop, but I don't think I would do that. I'm a terrible actor. But I like the idea of Ryan Reynolds as Ned Braden. Somebody brought up, where's the guy here? Ryan McCarthy in Saratoga, New York says Lauren Graham would make a great Francine. No. Sandy Ronaldo from CTV National News plays Francine in the remake of Slapshot. I don't care what her age is. They're spitting images of each other. And we can't just throw this out willy-nilly. I need 24 hours to think about this. This is serious stuff. Okay. Let's get him on the screen. Natey Adjei, friend of the show. And the guy tipped his toes in the broadcasting world with the All Ball podcast, and now he's on the radio calling Argos games. How you doing, Natey?
I'm doing fantastic. How you doing, Rod? Always a pleasure to join your show.
Yes, I appreciate having you on, man. Big fan here. Always have been. And by the way, Eskimos, Argos alum, and for a cup of coffee, Montreal. Did you ever touch down in Montreal as an Alouette, by the way?
No, signed the contract, but never actually stepped foot in Montreal.
Well, it'll go on your Wikipedia, I'm sure. But, hey, Natey, how tough was it to make the call on your career and go into the broadcast booth? Can you tell me about that first? Can we start there?
Absolutely. It was tough. You know, football is something I've done since the age of 12, right? So it's been my life every single year of my life. But, you know, as the pandemic started, parties started getting shifted. Father of 3 now. And, you know, just knowing that I would have to miss time with the family after being with them for a whole year, it was too tough. You know, it was too tough to pass up the opportunity to be there every single day. Then I got the opportunity with the Argos, and I thought it was the perfect transition to be still connected to the game. But it's tough. It was tough to say goodbye to something you've known your whole life, right? But I wasn't willing to give up, family time any longer. I've done it for a long time, and it was time to sacrifice that.
Well, it's going to be interesting. And the very first thing I think about, because I saw the photo of you in the broadcast booth Saturday's game there with the Bombers and the Argos, was the smallest broadcast booths in sports are at BMO Field. How did you and Hoagie fit in there? And how did Chris Schultz ever fit in there? Were you guys a little tight for space in there?
You know what? It was my first ever broadcast booth I've ever seen or been a part of. So I didn't know any different. So to me, that's just how it is, right? So I wasn't about to start complaining. I was cool. I was, doing what I love to do. So we'll see as I travel and see what the other broadcast booths are. But for me, I was fine. I was fine in there. I don't know how Schultz fit. It was pretty tight for me.
I don't know how he walked in the room, let alone fit next to Hoagie. But anyways, so it was a big win for the Argos. Nick Arbuckle, Player of the Week. A pretty good game to have for your first. Talk about how that game went down.
It was an exciting game. And the whole time I was looking down at the crowd and thinking, man, this is a great game for CFL fans in Toronto to come to, because it was, Toronto took the lead, and then CFL games, they're never ever over. So Winnipeg comes back, and Toronto puts their foot on the pedal again, back and forth. Arbuckle looked great, getting the ball out. DeVaris Daniels had a monster game. Couple rookies for Toronto had big catches. Back and forth kind of game. It was uncharacteristic for Winnipeg to play the way they did. But you love to see it as a Toronto fan. It was a fun CFL game to be a part of, and I think the fans had a blast, which was the most important thing.
Well, the offense was humming, but I got to be honest with you. My guy, Charleston Hughes, was not necessarily flying around. Is he getting lost on all the talent in that front seven for the Argos, or like he's not getting off? He's not leading the CFL in sacks right now, Natey. How much were you watching the defensive front for the Argos in that game?
We were watching them a lot because every time it seemed like Winnipeg touched the ball, somebody on Toronto was flying to the ball, and then 2, 3, 4 guys were, getting in on tackles. So the pursuit was unbelievable for Toronto, and they've got that front seven might be the strength of the team. They've got so much talent in that front seven. You just look at, Cameron Judge, you guys know him well. Enoch Mwamba, Chris Edwards, I played with him in Edmonton. Physical, fast. Everybody we think about, the two things that come up in your head are physical, fast, and they're all really smart football players. So I know Glenn Young is doing a great job in mixing up the looks. They'll go 40 front, they'll go 30 front, they'll go, They'll just have all these multiple looks with a defensive line, defensive front, and it's confusing a lot of Winnipeg's O-line had a tough time with it. They got Dexter McCoyle back there who won a Grey Cup in Edmonton. Who can play pretty much anywhere on the defensive in the defense, right? And he's almost like one of those basketball players that you think of. They say he can guard 1 through 5. Well, Dexter McCoyle can do that. He can go on the D line, linebacker, safety, DB. He can do it all, and he was everywhere. Then you got Vontae Diggs as well, who was in Edmonton last year, Rookie of the Year candidate for Edmonton. Backing up, but he's getting some packages. So this defense is unbelievable. It's going to be one to watch.
That is an outstanding defense. That's a lot of big names right there. And I think the Argos got to be looked upon as East Division favorites right now, especially with the struggling Ticats, which I'll get to in a moment. But Jack in Vulcan, Alberta is watching. He's a Stampeders guy. And he says, what's Natey's opinion of Nick Arbuckle? What are your thoughts on the quarterback of the Argos?
You know what? I got to see him a bunch when we played, when he was in Calgary, and the first season he was starting. And, first couple of games, I'm like, okay, it's Bo Levi's backup, and, we're going to have our way with him. But we never did have our way with him. He came in there, and he looked really comfortable. I remember watching his first ever start. But first ever game. It was, I think, week 2 of the 2019 season. Calgary was playing BC, and, Bo Levi gets hurt in the fourth quarter. And Arbuckle they're down 10 at that point. And Arbuckle has to lead him down and win the game. And he does just that. He made every single throw Bo was making in that game. And I think he was a rookie at the time. For a rookie to come in and be as locked in as he was, it was really impressive. Poised, confident, knowledge of the offense. You can tell when a quarterback has, good knowledge of the offense when, they're getting to their drop, the first guy isn't open. They're going to their check down, 2, 3 receivers. And that's what he was doing. And you could tell he was really confident. He's confident in his abilities. That's what you love to see. And the guys really rally around him. That's one thing you look for a quarterback. Trevor Harris has this where the guys love to play for him. They rally around him. You see the interactions on the bench are all positive. And that's what you love to see. So my impressions of Arbuckle, really, really good. Sky's the limit for him because he has his offensive coordinator and Dinwiddie as a head coach here. Great receivers across the board. He's got Rogers, DeVaris Daniels, Breskinson, Curly Gittins, Ricky Collins Jr., who's a friend of this show. Good backups in Noel and Brissett. So just an unbelievable receiving core, great running backs. DJ Foster stepped up last week, and John White, of course, has been, a stalwart in the CFL. So, sky's the limit for him.
That's right. Ricky's my guy now, as you know. And it's funny with those quarterbacks that anybody would criticize the Argos, how they handle quarterbacks with Ryan Dinwiddie running the show. I'm like, please, he's got it. And I think Dinner's already showing he's going to be a tremendous head coach for years and years to come. And by the way, Nelson Hakowicz watching, our vice president of sim events, he says, great breakdown. Natey has a long career ahead of him. I cannot let you go. And I'll come back on the Argos in a moment, but the Ticats are 0-2. They go into Montreal for Friday Night Football, Al's home opener. The Ticats going to come out of this, Natey? What's going on with them at 0-2?
You know what? They'll be fine. I mean, first game had O-line issues, and a big piece that I think not a lot of people are talking about, Braylon Addison. I mean, if you remember Braylon Addison's last season, he was everywhere for the Ticats, almost their best receiver. I mean, Banks is there, and Banks is their go-to guy. He gets all the headlines. But Braylon Addison was, just as important to me. I mean, the few times we played him, it felt like he was running double moves, triple moves, and catching all the short passes as well, right? So he was doing everything for them. I think he's their glue guy receiver, and without him, it's tough for Masoli back there. And then you add in the O-line issues. You can't even run the ball. it's tough selling. So once they get, their O-line issues sorted out, which I think they're going to be, Van Zel's back. He's been back for a couple of weeks, and they had this bye week to kind of sort it all out. You get Braylon Addison back. Maybe you can run the ball a little bit better. I think they'll be fine. That's a team that's proven. Steinauer is a great head coach in this league. They got great talent across the board. They'll figure it out. They didn't win 13 games in 2019 for no reason to go to the Grey Cup. Then they brought almost everybody back, including the coaching staff, right? So they'll be just fine.
And the week, lastly, Natey, was supposed to open Thursday with Elks Argos at BMO Field. I'm sure you're all jacked to broadcast that game. What did you think when you found out that it was going to be postponed due to a COVID outbreak with Edmonton?
I just said, what the elk is going on over there? I had to hit a couple of my friends up and I'm like, guys, what's going on? Like, what's happening? And, everybody's in quarantine right now. Everybody's at, their own, in their own hotels. It's a tough situation because, we all know the deal. The league missed a whole year pretty much because of COVID-19. And, to come back, guys got to, adhere to the strict protocols, like really stick to the protocols or, there might not be any more football. So, it's a tough situation. It's so divisive because, there are guys that are on the backside and guys that are on the anti-backside. But we all know the deal. To play football, we've got to have everybody test negative, and the best way to test negative is to be vaxxed or just stay in your bubble, stay at home, and just go to practice and go home, go to the game and go home, right? So it's tough because if I'm a vaccinated guy on the Edmonton, I'm not happy because my bottom line is being affected, right? My ability to earn income that I missed the whole 2019 is being affected, and if I'm a guy, I have the choice to make this decision, but I also have to live with the consequences, right? And I have to ask myself, am I doing what's best for the team to win? These are the questions that are going on. I'm sure each coach and GM wants every single guy vaccinated. And frankly, I feel like that's the only way, the league will survive this season because that outbreak, it happened in Edmonton, but it won't be the last one if teams aren't over the threshold.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, Natey, thanks for this wonderful breakdown. Go Argos. Those are my guys, by the way, Murph and Pinner and Chucky, obviously. So Cam Judge is the best. So listen, have a blast. I know you are, and always good chatting with you.
Likewise. Thank you for having me as well. And, anytime you need Argos breakdown, I'm your guy.
Perfect. Gotcha. We'll book you. Natey Adjei joining us from Toronto, the Argos' newest color commentator, and I think he'll be there for a long time. Okay, before we break, we do have a very interesting topic going on here today. Two have spawned. People are saying, what are the greatest remakes of all time? Because the gentleman asked earlier, Robin, if there was a remake made of Slapshot, what current actors would play those roles? And I told you I'm not going to do this willy-nilly and just throw names out there. This needs to be done right. And then other guys are saying, and gals, what are the best remakes? And they've got Dark Knight, Longest Yard, Terminator 2, blah, blah, blah. That's a topic for another time. But I got one for Denny Lemieux, Clark. What do you think about Zach Galifianakis for the goalie? You name another bearded, short, stocky, funny guy. Zach Galifianakis. Clark doesn't like it. I think it's a slam dunk. Sandy Ronaldo from CTV National News will play Francine. She hasn't aged today. I'll think a little more. And come back with a sports update and a Original 16 Ultra update, too. I want your thoughts. Actors that would play the roles in the remake of Slapshot. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pie.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
He's back. Back from what, Moose?
I don't know.
How's the hair?
It's good.
So you were checking yourself out.
Was I just running my hands through? I do it so often now, it's subconscious.
But
it was the twitch because I was thinking about these characters for...
Oh, hang on.
Okay.
Very important discussions come up today on who stars in the remake of Slapshot. But just hang on. Sports update. We got a few things here. The World Women's Hockey Championship continues in Calgary with 3 games on today's schedule. Finland faces the Russians. The Czech Republic meets Germany. And Denmark, my country, takes on Hungary. The USA and Canada meet tomorrow in a battle of undefeated teams. News out of Minnesota, St. Paul, and Winnipeg. Minnesota Wild General Manager Billy Guerin announced today the NHL club has signed defenseman Carson Lambos to a 3-year entry-level deal. The 18-year-old was selected by the Wild in the first round, 26th overall of the 2021 NHL draft. The Winnipeg product spent most of last season on loan to Finland. JYP Finland had 11 points in 13 games. Also played 2 games with the Winnipeg Heiss in the WHL bubble. Remember those 2 games, Moose? Because we were there.
Oh, yeah.
And Carson Lambos was on our show just last week. So congrats to him and the Wild. Toronto Blue Jays and Chicago White Sox continue a 4-game series tonight at Rogers Center. The team split the first 2 games of the series after Chicago posted a 5-2 win last night. Shohei Ohtani has won 4 straight pitching starts for the Angels and is 7-0 on the mound since his last loss May 28th. They take on the Orioles tonight. The Orioles have dropped 19 in a row. Sports update is for dubnetwork.ca. and for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars. Don't forget, Clark, we will do the original 16 update, probably next segment, because I can't tell you when's the last time I got so serious about something like this Slapshot remake discussion. And we've had some really good ones coming in here. Jeff in Winnipeg, Camilla says, the Baldwin brothers for the Hansons. I think those guys could actually come back and play themselves now.
Yeah.
I did an event with them. As you recall, you were there a couple of years ago in Saskatoon. And I'm not going to say which one, but he was so drunk he fell off the stage. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember the story.
It was right in front of my eyes.
Oh, my gosh.
We all saw it with our own eyes. Well, I guess you didn't.
I did not.
Wayne in Victoria agrees with my Zach Galifianakis as Denis Lemieux. Denis Lemieux continuant sa saison. Who would be Dickie Dunn? I feel like Elliot Friedman should play Dickie Dunn. But I think that Billy Bob Thornton is a slam dunk as Reg Dunlop, because this is a very, very important role. This would be the role that might define Billy Bob Thornton's career.
It's the role.
It's the role. And I will go along with Billy Bob Thornton as Reg Dunlop. That's how big of a fan I am of his and of Reg Dunlop's, and nobody has come close to anybody else.
No. Somebody mentioned Steve Carell. Steve Carell maybe as Jim Carr.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
He could be Jim Carr. That works for me.
No. The guy whose idea this was in the first place, Robin Wildy, he's watching in PA. He says Liam Neeson as Joe McGrath. Liam Neeson's way too cool to play Joe McGrath. Way too cool.
Somebody mentioned
John in Winnipeg. John Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
As Joe McGrath.
Yeah. Slam dunk.
Perfect.
Oh, how about that?
I was coaching in Omaha in 1948, and Eddie Shore sent me this guy. He's a terrible. What are you looking at, by the way?
I'm looking at the characters. I got them all up here.
Yeah?
Yeah. From Slapshot, just to try and see if I'm striking any.
From the Puck and Pigskin podcast in Red Deer. Marc-Andre Fleury could play Denis Lemieux. That's funny.
That's pretty good.
But he's going to be a little busy starring in goal for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Did we find a Ned Braden yet?
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. You were fixing your hair.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds works.
We were talking about that.
Yeah.
Robin goes on to say Chuck Norris as Ogie Oglethorpe. We got to find a beefier guy for Ogie Oglethorpe.
Yeah.
What about Maurice Mad Dog?
I could see it.
Met her on a Florida tour. There's so many. I feel like we got to move on here.
There's a lot.
Robin goes on to say Vince Vaughn as Dave Killer Carlson.
But I got to say, as the first creative meeting for the recasting, we accomplished a lot.
That's a good start.
We accomplished a lot.
Mike Blackbird in Toronto keeps saying Justin Timberlake as Denis Lemieux. Has Justin Timberlake acted in anything?
Yeah, the reason he's saying that, because Denis Lemieux is the goalie.
Yeah.
Is that Justin Timberlake was the goalie in Love Guru. There
was a goalie in Love Guru?
Grande. He was the French goalie.
Okay.
That was the arch nemesis. That's why, not that because he resembles Denis Lemieux.
Oh.
But he was the French goalie.
No. Todd Pinks says whoever played Rip in Yellowstone should play Dave Killer Carlson. I feel like whoever played Rip could play any one of these guys. He could play Ogie Oglethorpe. He could play Dave Killer Carlson.
Yes.
He could play them all.
Oh, my gosh.
What about Omar Tuttle? From Mile 40, Saskatchewan. Billy Charlebois.
Now I think that Kevin Costner would be a better Reg Dunlop. He'd be.
No, Billy Bob has the greasiness of Reg Dunlop that Kevin Costner does not have.
He doesn't. He's lacking the greasiness. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Where is Joe Lazito on a day like today?
He would have. Oh yeah.
He'd be all over this.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's come back and let's get to that Ultra update, okay? And I'd far rather talk about this than COVID. I can tell you that for free. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus television network across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
At Capital Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. Here we go. We are into the overtime program, which is brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace. And just ahead of the Ultra update for Original 16, just a couple text messages because we had viewers here watching on the Game Plus TV network. That is where our bread is buttered. I would be correct in saying that. from the 861, just regarding the Slapshot remake. Anonymous texter says, not sure where he fits, but Kim Coates is a must. Can he skate? Do we know if Kim Coates can skate? He must. He's from Saskatoon. Yeah. Swanee from Martinsville says, who would play Denny Lemieux? Dana Carvey? Is Dana Carvey still a thing?
I don't know.
Wayne's World.
Yeah.
It's like the last time I remember Dana Carvey being relevant. From Jim Wagner, Prairie Mobile text line, he says, Rod is not just a pretty face or an amazing knowledge of sports info, but he knows the best places for great eats. Suggestion for a place for boneless ribs for my anniversary supper tomorrow? Loving the show every day, guys. I'll text him back on that. I would say the Four Seasons for all the right reasons. Hey?
That'd be a good place.
John Cena as Ogie Oglethorpe. And Roman Reigns as Clarence Screaming Buffalo Swamptown. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Are you ready with the Ultra Update? Original 16 Ultra Update. You let me know when we're ready. And it's time for another edition of everybody's favorite game show, The Good, the Great, and the Ugly. It went over so well on Monday that I thought I'd do it again. The Good. Saskatchewan Roughriders quarterback Cody Fajardo has been named CFL Player of the Week in back-to-back weeks. There's no bigger Cody fan than me, not named Fajardo, but I was a little surprised he got the nod again. Yes, he threw for over 300 yards in Saturday's win over Ottawa and rushed for a touchdown. However, he didn't throw for any, and it just looked like another typical Fajardo outing. Clean. Maybe I'm already getting used to his stellarness, and that would be wrong of me. The Great. The Centennial Cup host Estevan Bruins have already opened training camp, and players from all across the country are flying into the sweatpants capital and heading to Bruins camp. They must have been given an exemption by the league, as other teams are still a long ways from getting going. Meanwhile, on Monday, the NHL preseason schedule was announced, which is obviously another sign that the season is right around the corner. The great thing is that I plan to attend some games in the United States next month and will be hosting the Rod Pedersen Show from those southern locales. And the ugly. Meanwhile, in Canada, it appears we're in utter chaos. Some provinces have gone back to mask mandates, and now travel figures to be greatly impacted. This is grim news for the CFL. I thought BC's top doctor, Bonnie Henry, said we'd be living a post-pandemic life by August. Don't come here for the answers to your questions. I can't explain any of this. What do you think, Moose?
It's pretty good.
An original 16 Ultra to fit your active lifestyle. Superior taste with only 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise. Purchase at a store near you today. I did crack open Facebook in the break, and they're all over the local Hall of Fame columnist from Post Media, from the Leader Post newspaper, Rob Vanstone, who's admonishing the Saskatchewan Roughriders for not yet instituting a proof of vaccination requirement to go to games. And I am said it so many times, I'm oversaying how over I am arguing about COVID. Now, whether they institute a vaccination policy doesn't really affect my life. But you saw in the last 24 to 48 hours, Vancouver Canucks instituting a policy. Flames, Stampeders, Oilers, Leafs, Raptors, Red Blacks, Bombers were the first. Alouettes, the entire province of Quebec. And why can we not make any progress on this? I guess sports is, literally, the young gentleman, the young referee, who I had a great chat with this morning, just said, I don't think I'm going to die if I get COVID, so I'm not getting a shot. That's his life, not telling him what to do. But it's like, if you want us to get back to normal, you need to get a shot. That's, I guess, to sum this up, half of Americans are vaccinated, 75% of Canadians. I thought it would be way higher numbers than that, Moose. That's what's holding things up, correct?
It's what's holding things up. And I think we're going to be at a point where the vaxxed and the unvaxxed will be able to go to games together, where it won't be a thing. You're not going to ask for vaccination passports because the numbers will be so low and will be. But that's like nowhere near anytime soon. So if you don't want to get vaxxed and you want to wait it out, you might be waiting it out for years. before you'd be allowed in. It'd be months for sure. Might be years. And that's just, hey, you got to wait it out. Just like you got to wait till you're 16 to get a driver's license or whatever the case might be. But if we want to get back to normal, you got to get vaxxed. If you want to get back to going to games, and I know the Rough Riders are the minority, and so are the Edmonton Elks. They're in the minority, and they're getting some bad pub. They got to deal with the financial implications of adding this and the tickets that have been sold and all of that. But eventually, barring some sort of, transition, they're going to go that way too and have to require it. It's just going to have to happen eventually. It's just a matter of, can they sort everything out to get there? But we're all moving that way. So,
yeah. Well, I think, our viewership is skewed to the prairies. Our numbers show that. But I don't think it's keeping people away from the games in the CFL on the prairies, because we've had sellouts in Saskatchewan. What are the Blue Bombers averaging? 23,000? Their first game was close to 30,000. You wouldn't have even known COVID was a thing, really.
Right. And you're always going to get somebody who's going to reply and say, well, Rod, you're wrong because I'm staying away because I don't want to go to the super spreader event, right?
Yeah.
But we don't mean that. At scale, they're not staying away.
That's what I mean.
Right? At scale, they're not staying away. But if there becomes more outbreaks and the cases keep going up, the policy will have to be introduced. It just will.
Yeah, Mike Blackbird, the Argo fan, one of the Argo fans that watches, says, everyone made their choices, now live by it. Yeah, what you're missing there, Mike, is it's really screwing things up for everybody. For those choices is the point. CFL, I think, is in a real pinch here with getting there. That's what you're starting to hear is the travel. The players that aren't vaccinated aren't going to be able to travel based on government mandates. So that's what's holding things up. That's what we were just talking about.
Yeah. It really is. It's holding everything up.
Aaron in Yorkton. Hey, Rod. Question. When was the last time the Riders and Bombers were having a battle at Labor Day for West supremacy? I don't remember it in my 25 years following the team. Based on CFL game notes last week, the Blue Bombers and Rough Riders have never, ever been 3-0 at the same time. And they're not this year because the Bombers lost in Toronto. It's never happened. So who was the CFL? It was West Cates we were talking about last week where it's an anomaly. First place could be on the line going into the Labor Day Classic. Everybody wants to talk about Labor Day Classics. Have you noticed? We still got another week to go. Although the Green Boys don't have a game in between now and then. What's up tomorrow, Quack? Did you put the guests up? Ryan Leslie and TBD. He's my favorite. We'll see you tomorrow at noon Eastern here on Game Club. Who has more fun than us?